It's been a few weeks since my last nickel hunt and album fill episode, mainly because I keep getting uncirculated nickel boxes, and of course, that's not going to yield any finds for the books. Luckily today, I was able to grab a circulated nickel box, and I know it's circulated because it has the holes in the bottom, and I saw that we had circulated nickels, so I'm pretty excited. Stay tuned for nickel hunt and album fill episode number 102, box 76 for the series 2 books, and box number 11 for the side find book. Hey everyone, it's RobFindsTreasure. Welcome back to my channel. In front of me, I have a circulated nickel box, so we're only going to do a 1-box hunt today. And like I said in the intro, it's hard for me to get circulated boxes lately, so I have to resort to doing whatever we can to have a video since it's been a couple of weeks. Now, because it's a 1-box hunt, I likely will show all of the 50s finds and earlier, unless, of course, we happen to have a collection dump and then it gets crazy, but that's a fingers crossed type situation. Now, if you're new to the channel or new to the series, this is the series 2 and 3 books that we're working on. We've already completed the series 1 book, and that took 167 boxes to do so. After we finished the first 100 boxes for the Series 1 book, we were stalemated on that 50D, so we went ahead and started a second set of books, and then we've been doing that ever since then, and that's why this is box number 76 for the second series books. Now, as a quick reminder, we have found 134 out of 136 of the nickels. We still need the 39S and the 50D. And then, of course, we've done 10 boxes for the Series 3 book. We added a couple of nickels last time, and we'll give you guys a good look at both books at the end of this hunt when we compare the finds to see if we have any upgrades or additions. If you're new to my channel or new to the series, you can always watch the entire playlist starting at the very first box, because I have that playlist linked both down below in the video description as well as pinned up here for your convenience. Now I'm going to go ahead and slide these out of the way, and we're going to go ahead and get this box open. Like I said, I do know that it is circulated, and I'm hoping, because I haven't gotten any circulated boxes lately, we got a good one today. We won't know until we get it popped open and get the rolls open, but in the meantime, hopefully we have a fancy ender on top. Man, let's see if we got anything nice. Well, we do have our fair amount of modern nickels, and that's always a bummer, but I do see some older Jefferson designs in here, and that's got me optimistic that we might have a pretty good 1-box hunt. All right, you guys know the drill. We're going to start cracking rolls, and of course, I'll bring you in on each and every find from 1959 and back, and hopefully I see you often rather than rarely. Roll number 1 is going to give us our first find. It's just a 50s nickel, but like I said, I'm going to be showing all the finds from 59 and back. This is 1957 Denver to kick us off. Roll number 2. We're 2 for 2 on finds. This time, a 1941. And I think that's a Denver. Let's just make sure. And it is. 1941 Denver, oldest nickel of the hunt so far. Roll number 4. Another 40s Jefferson nickel. 1946, Philadelphia. Roll number 8 is going to give us another 40s Jefferson, and this one's a 1949, minted. And there is a mint mark there, and it is a Denver, so we'll just check for that D over S, and I know there's some damage around it, but that's not where the D over S would be. Still, our third 40s Jefferson nickel of the box, 8 rolls in, and we'll take it. Well, I just cracked open roll number 9, and I think I might have a war nickel right there. It does have that patina and the look of a war nickel. Let's just make sure. And this is going to be, well, it's a 1942, so obviously that's the year it couldn't be silver as well, but that looks pretty silvery to me. 1942, Philadelphia. 1942P. I don't see a lot of 42 silver war nickels in my hunt. Maybe we'll need it, or maybe it'll be an upgrade for one of the books, but more importantly, we've got silver in the box, only the 9th roll in. Roll number 10, box is starting off pretty hot. We've got a pretty nice 1940 Jefferson nickel here, and for a 1940, that is definitely a nice one. 1940, Denver. Let's take a look at that mint mark really quick. Definitely a Denver, and I thought the steps looked decent. They do look decent for as old as it is, but that's not full steps, although it was probably struck with full steps straight from the mint. 1940D in great shape. Could be an upgrader and the oldest of the box. Same roll, and a few coins later, it was reverse facing, and I saw it looked old, and then when I flipped it, I saw it was a 1941. It's heavily damaged, but let's just see if there's a mint mark on it. No mint mark that I can see. 1941 damaged Philadelphia. Roll number 12 is going to have a couple of finds. Just flattened them out after I saw that we had a 1958 Denver. And then I can already see the top of it back here. Where is it? Right there. We've also got a 1948. And there is a mint mark. Let's take a peek. And that's going to be a 1948S. 1948S is actually a semi-key date, and we might need it for the Series 3 book. 48S, not in the best shape, but I'll always take a lower minted nickel anytime. We're on roll number 19, and I believe we have our second silver nickel of the hunt. Looks pretty promising. And it's a San Francisco minted silver war nickel, 35% silver. What year is it? And that's going to be a 1943S. Not sure we need it for the third book, but still another silver war nickel, and that's now 2 in the first 19 rolls, and this box is actually off to a pretty good start. We're on roll number 24, and we might already have our third silver nickel of the box. Holy cow. And it is. That's a Philadelphia minted 1943. So we can check it for that 3/2 date, which I'm not going to see there and doesn't look like it is. And then we have to check for the doubled I, which is tough to see on these heavily circulated nickels, and I don't see it. But either way, that's our third silver war nickel, and we're not even halfway through the box yet. Crazy. Roll number 26, another Jefferson nickel from 1949. There's also a mint mark on that one. And take a look at this. That's a San Francisco minted 1949. And yet again, that's another semi-key date. I'm pretty sure we need both the 48S and the 49S for the third finds book, and that makes me happy. Definitely take that. 2 semi-key dates and 3 silver war nickels through 26 rolls. Roll number 31. We've got a 1953 Jefferson nickel minted in Denver. Roll number 34. Just the 1959 nickel standing proud, but it's in pretty good shape. 1959 Denver. Roll number 36. 1941 Jefferson nickel. Well, we're not going to know where that's from that easily. Let's see if I can scope it. Yeah, I can't tell what it is if there is a mint mark, but keep in mind, we don't need any of the 41s, and it's in pretty rough shape as well. We'll just add it to the 41s and get back to the hunt. Roll number 41 is going to have a pretty nice 1952 nickel. It could be an upgrader depending on if there's a mint. And there is. And that looks like an S. And it is another S. Man, almost another semi-key date. 51S is a semi-key. 52 is just a slightly lower mint. But we'll take that. It's in pretty good shape to boot. All right. 9 rolls left. Is there any more silver? Roll number 45 is going to give us another 1959 nickel, probably Denver, and it is. Roll number 48 is going to have a pretty toasty 1957, and that looks like a Denver. If it has a mint mark, it has to be a Denver, and it is. 1957 Denver. Same roll, this time a 1958 Denver. Roll number 49 is going to have another 1952 nickel. And this one is minted. And I think that's San Francisco again. It's worn down a little bit, but it's definitely a 52S. Nice seeing 2 52S's in the box, although this one's not anywhere near as good a condition as the last one. Well, we finished that nickel box, and I'll tell you, even though we have 20 finds on the board, including 2 semi-key dates and 3 silver war nickels, that first half of the box had me thinking we could set a new war nickel record or might find one of the tougher dates like in the 38, 39s, or 1950s. But we didn't. Still a good box. Unfortunately, the silver stopped right around the midpoint of the box. I wonder what the next box that was after this box or before, depending on how it was loaded, would have been had we scored that one as well. Either way, I'll take what I got, and I do believe, based on what I have on the board, we may have an upgrade or two or an addition or two for at least one set of the books, and that makes me happy. Let me go ahead now and cull through the finds and see what we have for upgrades and additions, and I'll bring you back after I do that. But before I do that, I do want to make mention that I did find a really nice 1971 Denver, and when I flipped it, it looked like it had near full steps. And 1971 is not a great year for full steps, but man, that's pretty close. I wonder if it would qualify, but probably not because there is some separation in the steps. Still, a nicely struck nickel, and it could be an upgrader. It's just like I said, 1971 Denver. Just don't see very many nice ones of these in my area. All right, let me compare the finds to the books, and I'll be back with a recap of what we got. We have finished comparing the finds to both albums, and I'm pleased to say we actually had quite a few upgrades and some additions. For the Series 2 book, we didn't have any additions, so we're still stuck at 134 out of 136 nickels found through 76 boxes, but we did upgrade the 40D and the 42P silver. Now, they're not perfect upgrades, but they are upgrades nonetheless. The 40D is right here, pretty nice. And the 42P silver, although it's ugly, it's not as bad as the one we had in the book, if you can believe it. So, a couple of upgrades for the Series 2 book, and then for the Series 3 album, we actually upgraded the 52S, and you saw that during the hunt, and that's a pretty nice nickel that's now slotted. And then we had 3 additions, the 49S and 48S that you saw during the hunt, the semi-key dates, and we used the 42P silver nickel from the second book to fill a slot right here. Definitely not a nicer nickel, but it definitely could be used in this book because it didn't have it. For those wondering, a quick look at the 48S in the book right there and the 49S. So now, after 11 boxes for the Series 3 book, we have 49 out of the 65 nickels found. And of course, this book only went to 1961 Denver, so some of those nicer nickels I had up here, I couldn't slot in any of the books, so I just rolled them up. I'll take one box hunts like that any day of the week. We have 3 silvers for the silver jar. One's a replacement one because we used the 42P, and we got upgrades and additions. If you guys enjoyed this 2-box nickel hunt, I'd appreciate that thumbs up. And as always, everyone, happy hunting, and thanks for watching. Can never get mad at adding more silver to the 2022 silver jar.